yourself too?
Myself.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Latrina Griffin, and I'm going to tell you how to get through the process of boarding an aircraft, the important details, and the exit row, and deboarding the aircraft. Boarding an aircraft can be a very stressful experience because of unorganized crowds, long wait lines, but it doesn't always have to be so frustrating. I will explain to you all of the simple ways of how to get through boarding an aircraft, but it can be much more of an easier process. First, make sure you have a boarding pass. This is a boarding pass. You won't be able to get on the aircraft if you don't have it. You also want to make sure you have your ID and any other important documents ready to go. Keep them in a safe and easy to reach place, like a pocket or a small bag or a purse. Next, you want to check the zone on your boarding pass. We usually have it at the tip on the end. This is the number 3 on this one. It will also help you when it's your turn to board. When it's time to board the aircraft, simply line up with your assigned zone or your group lane and scan your pass. Show your ID to the gate agent and they'll let you on the aircraft. If there isn't any issues, don't worry. They'll help you figure out everything if there's a problem. Finally, take a deep breath. Grab your stuff and all of your belongings. Double check to make sure there's nothing that you left behind, especially your boarding pass and your ID and your cell phone. And step on the aircraft. All right, you stepped on. You made it. That was the hard part. It's over. By following these simple steps, you can make the process a breeze. Now let's go over what happens before you board the aircraft, which is called the pre-boarding process. This is the pre-boarding lane 1 and 2. Usually you'll have only 2 lanes. Everyone in 3 through 6 will usually board on the green number 2 lane. Before we call group numbers and zones, we pre-board passengers with special assistance and disabilities. We give them a few minutes to go down. If they're boarding in wheelchairs or strollers, we give them some privacy and give them a couple minutes to be able to disassemble their assistive devices. Sometimes they have a hard time walking as well, so we try to give them some type of space before we board all of the other group members. When we pre-board families after those with assistive devices, those are usually passengers that have children under the age of 2 years old or infants. After the families, we pre-board military in uniform or on duty, or if they have identification. And finally, we board our first class and business class passengers. They're usually in group number 1. So this is a demonstration of when they board. You'll see a number of 1 through 5. It'll say customers with disabilities. Second would be active military in uniform. Third would be global service, which is usually high-end business passengers. 4 will be families with children under the age of 2 years old. Those are the ones that are using the strollers. And number 5 is 1K passengers. That's another form of business and first class passengers. Now we'll go over your luggage. Our baggage policy is 1 carry-on, 1 personal item. Your personal item does include a backpack, laptop, or purse. We ask that you remove any spare lithium-ion batteries and any e-cigarettes, as they are not permitted in the cargo hold. They're also not permitted in the overhead bin space. And if you have any other smaller items, you want to put those in the seat in front of you where your feet are. Now I want to explain the exit row details. It is very important that you understand the exit row details. They are designated rows on each aircraft that is an exit in case of an emergency or before an evacuation. The flight attendant will also help you explain before takeoff, but I'd like to give you some details on it now. When you are sitting in an exit row, we ask, can you assist just in case of an emergency? So you can understand how to open and assist the flight attendants to get the passengers off of the aircraft and away from danger. Now, let's explain the deboarding process. We ask that you stay seated with the seatbelt on until the captain has notified you that the aircraft has been fully parked and the door is closed. When the flight attendant makes an announcement to stay seated, it is to help others and passengers who might have connections and they might need to get off the aircraft first, so they won't miss their flight to their final destination. You will step out from your seat, and then you will walk out into the aisle, row by row, in a quiet, orderly fashion. While claiming your items from overhead in the bin space, please be aware of personal space so as not to injure other passengers near you in the rows. In conclusion, I explained the boarding process of the plane, the important factors of sitting in the exit row, and deplaning the aircraft. Announcements are extremely important because they ensure compliance and prepare everyone for a safe departure, takeoff, and landing. I hope this helps calm your worries, and thank you for your time and listening to help expedite the boarding process. Have a good day and safe travels, everyone.
Thank you. That was a good time because we about to beat in a little bit.